They can only wait and suffer now. The Manchester City bench there as the 100th FA Cup final is about to get underway. Referee just looking around, checking that are 11-11. Everything's in order. A look at his watch. And the 100th FA Cup final is now underway, with Spurs in the white shirts attacking the goal to our left. Manchester City in their all sky blue strip. Spurs, who played in 5 FA Cup finals, they've won them all. City, who played in 7 finals and won 4 of them. But that's all history. The cup is now about what happens in the next 90 minutes. Ray Ransom, grateful no doubt for an early touch of the ball with this throw for City. Gow coming towards him, the long ball there. Mackenzie beaten in the air by Hoddle, but Gow stabbing it there for McDonald, hitting it straight at Hoddle again. And that time it's Roberts getting it to Perriman. And Mackenzie getting in quick. McDonald here now for Bennett. Touch there nicely this time. And this will be the first touch for Milja Aleksic, Yugoslav father, English mother, and says, I'm a very nervous man by nature, and he'll be glad of an early touch. It's Mackenzie on the far side there, but beaten by Perriman in the air. Now Hoddle again. And a good advantage played there by referee Hackett. Although Hoddle was brought down, Spurs kept possession. But now they've got a free kick from the challenge by Ransom on Crooks.
Well, certainly Manchester City are playing Atletico final because they're not giving the Spurs players an inch of room. And on this surface where you can slide through into things, they're doing it all the time. And they've got away with it quite a bit, but, you know, they're getting penalised now and again now.
Ardiles to Perriman, floated there towards Roberts. That very nearly got under Corrigan's body. Well, Graham Roberts, who's only scored 1 goal this season, and that was in the Cup against Exeter, got up so well. It was Perriman's little cross here, and for a moment it looked as though it was going to crawl or creep under the body of Corrigan, but he was down before Crooks could get in. Gow, Ransom, and that will just about get into the byline for a goal kick. Milja Aleksic, who has unhappy memories of cup ties against Manchester clubs, broke his jaw, of course, against Manchester United a season or so ago. Had the best luck with injuries, but he's here on the big day. Clayton, a good powerful header, very dominant, but just carrying a little too much to be of value. Halfway through the first half now, still no score. Tottenham's throw. Yes, another free kick for Manchester City. That time the foul on Kevin Reeves by Steve Perriman, and a kick already taken. Paul Power released there, and Miller will need to stop him. He got it in there. Bennett, can he hit something on the turn? And that so nearly could have been the first goal there. A lovely piece of skill there by Dave Bennett, and unluckily for him, it cannoned off a Spurs defender behind for the corner. Power doing well as we wait for this corner. Bennett on the turn, and it's Roberts that he hits, and they were lucky there, Jack.
Well, lucky. Paul Power did terrific. He saw 2 lovely dummies there. But when the ball came into the little coloured boy there, he turned on it the wrong way, I felt. He turned inside instead of out.
Corner coming in, and across the face of that goal again, and a touch would have put it in. It was the fullback Robert McDonald who was right in there.
Now that could have been goal number 1, and it was a classic near post corner, swung in to the near post, and someone getting a header on and flicking it across the face of the goals. I'm amazed that no Manchester City player was there to put it in.
Ardiles, a little overhead there. Will it reach Galvin? And a nice ball played there by Houghton for Tony Galvin. Oh, he's turned the ball, the shot! Pushed away by Corrigan. A fine piece of goalkeeping and a lovely piece of play by Tony Galvin. Well, a lot of people felt that he might be the unsung hero who could surprise them all. And the way he twisted and turned here as we wait again for that corner, and then hammered in that shot that Corrigan just pushed away for this corner here by Hoddle.
Manchester City can thank Joe Corrigan for two very fine saves, because the first header he saved from Graham Roberts was terrific, and the save he made there was a one-handed touch that if he hadn't got a hand to it, it was a goal. And you know, quality goalkeeper Joe, and he's proven his worth today.
Yes, John Bond was saying that he didn't realise how good he was until he actually got to Manchester City and saw him on a day-to-day basis, and he's got a bit of experience behind him, Joe. 32 years old and first played here in a Wembley final in the League Cup in 1970. So well over 400 league games as well for Manchester City. Here's Houghton getting it back, Alexic keeping it in. It's the City bench, and on the right, leaning forward there in the suit, almost on the right of the picture, the Spurs manager Keith Birkinshaw. Ardiles. Cross coming in, but Ranson should be there to cope with it, which he does. And Villa again not making a contact. That's 2 or 3 times when I've seen Ricky Villa not quite doing all that Spurs wanted him to do. He hasn't quite got into this game yet. Here's Dave Bennett though for City. And here's Bennett again, showing a great piece of tenacity there. And a little bit of skill there. Now, can Reeves get this one back in? Well, Ranson might with an early ball played in there. And a goal by Hutchison. And look at Corrigan celebrate. And it's sadness for Alexic. And the saluting fans, the saluting scorer. And what a goal it was. The early ball played in there for Hutchison, beyond the reach of Alexic. And Manchester City are 1-0 into the lead. Tremendous goal. What about that, Jack?
Tommy Hutchison will remember that header for a long time, because he's not noted as the greatest ever of a ball in the world. But it fit in exactly the right spot and at exactly the right time in the game. I think we might get a good game now. It's starting to warm up a little bit, and people are having a little bit more room to play it about in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, here's the man, Tommy Hutchison, towards Dave Bennett there. And the whistle has gone. Out of play, and it's a throw to Tottenham.
Manchester City seem to have the spare man across midfield, because Villa seems to be pushing up into a centre-forward position, and they're not winning enough ball in midfield to warrant this.
Now, can Crooks get in there? No, he can't, because Corrigan has done his job again. Well, we had a graphic illustration there, not only of the speed of Garth Crooks, but the bravery there of Joe Corrigan. And I think Joe is calling for the trainer. He caught his hand there as Crooks went in. Well, let's look at it again. And I thought for a moment that Crooks might just get there, but Corrigan bravely at his feet.
Oh, I think you're wrong there, Brian. He was always second best. Joe was always going to win that one. But it makes you wonder, when Joe's in this mood, he's going to take some beating today.
Reeves. Nice Roberts. and Crooks. And now Archibald. Again an advantage played there by Keith Hackett. Now can Houghton get in there? It's a new experience for Spurs this. They've never been behind in a cup game this season. And as I told you at the start, they've never lost a cup final. And Houghton being called to referee Hackett. And the name goes in the book. No, it's not. It's Graham Roberts. Joe Corrigan getting a bit of treatment there from Roy Bailey. And there was the challenge. In fact, I'm sure the referee started calling Chris Houghton to him. Maybe he... a case of mistaken identity. But at any rate, there's Hutchison with the cross. Mackenzie almost got on the end of that one. Archibald playing it in. Villa couldn't get there. Hutchison again. But this time Galvin. No, he's shown too much of that to Ransom, but it's a City throw. Roberts to Hoddle. Floated again towards Crooks. Villa, they're looking very secure at the back though, City. And when Spurs do find a way through, Corrigan has been in really exceptional form. Hoddle again now. Jinking and finding Villa, getting towards that byline. Little cross coming in. Now, can Galvin turn this one back? It maybe came off the turf a little quicker than he wanted, but they get a corner. So Houghton. Hoddle. Flicked in there again. Can Archibald make something of this? Is Crooks in there? He's offside. Corrigan saved though again. Big Joe was there where he needed to be, even though the flag was up and the whistle had gone.
You've got to react all the time to these situations. Both the linesman and the referee went a total line on this one, and they both gave it offside. So there was no doubt in it. But look at Joe coming out there. He's a brave lad. Big lad, but a brave one. It's not been a classic of a game, Brian, but it's I think Man City are well worth a 1-0 at the moment. Well worth it. Just for total commitment. I think if anything's lacking in the Tottenham side, it's that there's one or two of them haven't given total commitment to this game.
Well, there's the half-time whistle with about 2.5 minutes of injury time played, and Tommy Hutchison's goal, a brilliant header, separates the side. It's the saves of Joe Corrigan, who has also played a big part for Manchester City. And Spurs are going to need to wick themselves up and find something, particularly in the midfield, with people like Hoddle and Osvaldo Ardiles and Ricky Villa, to restore a little bit of the balance in the second half. Well, Keith Birkinshaw, the Spurs manager, you can be sure, will have had one or two rather pungent things to have pointed out to his team during the interval. Keith Hackett, who has played as well as anybody on this field so far today. And there's nobody happier here today at the moment than Tommy Hutchison, scorer of that Manchester City goal. And away we go then at the start of the second half, except we have a false start. One of the Spurs players must have gone into the circle before the ball had been played by Dave Bennett. And in fact, Steve Archibald nearly did it again. But now we are away with 45 minutes to go. That is, unless we need extra time. Reeves battling with Miller in the air. It's a terrific atmosphere here, as always, and it's the City fans who've got most to say at the moment. Cutting that one out, and here's Mackenzie, and now Tommy Caton. Perriman's header accurately down there for Hoddle, a little touch through there for Ricky Villa. Perriman again in for Villa, now for Hoddle, and a poor pass there by Hoddle straight to MacDonald, and Bennett went after that one, but it was Houghton who's whacked it forward. Here is Crooks versus Caton. It was Crooks who got the header in, but there's no trouble there for Manchester City. Good jump there by Roberts. Hoddle playing it here for Perryman. Hoddle again. Villa. Well, dispossessed by MacDonald, and here's Reeves back for Bobby MacDonald again. Bennett's gone in the middle too, and it's too high for him. Ball still in play, kept there by Tony Galvin. He's got a bit of pace about him, but he couldn't withstand that challenge from Hutchison. It's going to be a free kick and a substitution. So Ricky Villa goes off.
You've got to admire Manchester City, though. The tenacity in this game has been tremendous. And they've not played particularly well going forward, but they scored the goal, and the tenacity in winning the ball and doing the job right. They've held the balance across midfield. They've been by far the better team today.
And Gary Brooke comes on then as the Tottenham substitute. Houghton. And now it's Mackenzie. Ranson making the break. And the ball over for the corner. While sadly, what about that for a sad and sorrowful sight? Ricky Villa, World Cup man with Argentina, thought today could be one of the most memorable days of his life. As it is, his side is losing, and he goes off having been substituted by 19-year-old Gary Brooke. Kevin Reeves. Gow. Oh, twice he's had it taken off him, and that's unlike him, and Ardiles is the man who's stolen it this time. Gow coming back at him and concedes the free kick. His discipline went just for a moment there, Jerry Gow.
It shows what he's about, Jerry Gow. He lost the ball in midfield when no one was showing for him, and yet he's chased back. Ardiles has beaten one man, and the next person who comes into is Jerry Gow, who wins the ball but gives a foul away. But the fact that he's there is what it's about.
Now, we have to wait and see what Mr. Hodder can do with a free kick here. He hasn't had many opportunities today to show what he can do in terms of bending and swerving and beating a wall. And this probably is the first real opportunity he's had. He's about 20 yards out. He's well to the right of goal. Hoddle curling it, an own goal by Hutchison. Hoddle's free kick, and Tommy Hutchison's own goal. He's down there with Joe Corrigan now. The man who scored at one end has now put it in the other end. I think Joe Corrigan would have got it, but there's Hutchison, and there's the goal, and Spurs are level.
It's a ways in the way the game can change. One free kick, Joe had it covered all the way. Tommy Hutchinson, who shouldn't have even been in there, finishes up scoring the equaliser. One at each end. What a cup final he's had. Both headers.
Both headers. And what a finish. With about 9 minutes to go, Spurs, who look to be out of it incredibly, are right back in it again. And who's to say which way the pendulum will swing now? Hoddle. They're all going to have a spring in their stride now. Here's Tommy Hutchison, who will be out to try and do something to redeem that situation. Poor man, can you imagine what he's going through now? It was going to be such a day of glory for him. But what now for Tommy Hutchison? Roberts in there for Tottenham. Now Houghton. And Nicky Reed, cannily, and with a lot of deliberation gets himself out of that little spot there, but they've given the ball away again, City. Well, they've already got extra time in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden. And we're into time added on for stoppages here at Wembley.
This has not been a classic cup final, but both teams have worked very, very hard, and it's going to be interesting if it goes to extra time, who's going to be the strongest. You know, and I would tend to think maybe Tottenham, because Man City have really worked hard in this game.
Reed. Ransom. Final whistle after 90 minutes. And now John Bond and Keith Birkinshaw coming out to spend the next 2 or 3 minutes geeing up their players again. And it'll be interesting to see who they go to and who they try to sort out. In fact, the first thing that Keith Birkinshaw's done, there's John Bond on the far touchline, is having a word with Ozzy Ardiles. Right on the far touchline, you can see him there. They're working on his legs. And Keith Birkinshaw there, a pat on his head. And now comes across to see who else he can have a word with. Steve Perryman, clapping of the hands, getting a bit more effort into tired limbs. A few well-chosen words there on Jerry Gow from John Bond and John Sainty. Very important moments, but I don't know how much the players hear of this, whether they got thoughts of their own, Jack.
Well, if I was a Tottenham player, I think, well, we've got a real chance now. From having none, we've got a chance, and we can still win the cup. Manchester City, I would be thinking, dear me, we've played as well as we have, and we've done everything right, and we're giving a goal away like that. Things aren't with us today.
Yeah, the own goal was and absolutely heartbreaking.
That's a stunner for them, you know, and they've got to pick it up now, and Bonnie's got to work hard to pick it up with his lads here. And he's got Paul Power on the line.
Here is that own goal again.
Yes, well, Hutchie should never have been there.
Off his right shoulder, I think,
yes,
possibly.
Yes, it was off his right shoulder, but he should never have been in that position. What's he doing there behind the wall? Never given him anyone to chase.
The pace is certainly slowing a little bit now. Ardiles. And back by Miller to Alexic. Crooks looked like a handball there. No, said the referee. And Crooks plays it here for Perryman, calling for the early ball. It got it too. Galvin's coming up on the far side. Oh, and it just went beyond the reach of both Brook and Archibald, but here's Hoddle. And played back wisely by Reeves to Joe Corrigan.
Just show you how the game can change. A handball by Crooks there, a good cross by Perryman. Someone gets in at the far post with a header, and if it had dropped kindly, Tottenham win the cup. It's amazing. Amazing game, this.
Free kick for Manchester City. Bobby McDonnell with it. Here's Ray Ranson now. Oh, it's taken too quickly, so Tommy Caton will take this one. Caton, a long ball forward. Chris Hughton back there for Tottenham. And Crooks right back there for Tottenham. Even the front men are back now. Ranson crossing it in against the hands of Garth Crooks. City fans weren't too happy with that. They felt the City should have had a free kick, but the ball, I think, was hit quite firmly against the hand. I don't think it was any question of the hand coming down to hit the wall.
I've got to agree with you, Brian. I think he attacked the ball with his arms in the air, using them as a shield, and it was definitely a handball, and it should have been given.
We're not agreeing about anything, are we, today?
Not a lot today, Brian, not a lot.
But it's a corner, we agree on that. To Manchester City, as we come to the last minute and a half of extra time. Corner coming in. Reeves playing it out again for Henry. Played there for Jerry Gowes. We come to the last minute. Played wide for Bobby McDonnell. Played a good ball in there if Bennett can get onto it. But Hughton was there, getting him away. Crooks. looks as though we've got a real bonanza of football next week with the England-Brazil game on ITV on Tuesday, the Cup Winners' Cup final on Wednesday, a replay of this on Thursday, and Northern Ireland against England on Saturday. And there is the final whistle, and we've all got to come back for a replay on Thursday evening here. Tommy Hutchison, who have such mixed feelings of this game, you can be sure of that. Ray Ranson and Garth Crooks there, and Hutchison, who scored for Manchester City, put through his own goal and then was substituted. Next Thursday, the replay then here at Wembley. Each club, incidentally, receives 30,000 tickets for that, and 20,000 tickets, I'm told, will be on sale at Wembley tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Steve Perryman of Spurs and Paul Power of Manchester City leading out their sides for the first ever Wembley replay. There's only ever been one replay since the Cup came here in 1923, and that was in 1970 when Chelsea and Leeds drew here and took the replay to Old Trafford. Well, it means another packed house, and it means overall a take of some £2 million and more when you take in all the ancillary things as well, like television and so on. A massive payday, which of course is spread amongst all the clubs, but equally with a large slice of it going to the participating clubs, Spurs and Manchester City. Spurs, who were hustled out of their normal game on Saturday by this Manchester City side that worked as hard as any Wembley Cup final side has ever worked. And the teams to be presented tonight to Prince Michael of Kent. Now coming out of the Royal Tunnel. I think more at home on the winter slopes of bobsleighing and so on than the football grounds, but nonetheless a most welcome guest of honour. With Sir Harold Thompson on the right, Chairman of the FA, Mr. Ted Croker on the left, Secretary of the FA. And first, the national anthem. First it'll be Manchester City to be presented. This is Joe Corrigan, 6'4" of him. And Nicky Reed next to him, Tommy Caton. This replay, in fact, interrupting his studies. He's due to take an A-level, that tall, fair-haired lad, an A-level in maths next month. And the replay has got in the way of his studies. Next to him, another teenager, Steve McKenzie. 20-year-old Ray Ranson. Kevin Reeves, who, if we come to it at the end of this night, will be one of the penalty takers for Manchester City. David Bennett, who was in doubt because of a thigh injury right up to this morning. Bobby McDonald's there, and right in the centre of your picture now, the man who will always remember Wembley, scoring at both ends, Tommy Hutchison. Jerry Gow, who worked so feverishly in midfield for Manchester City throughout that game on Saturday. Dennis Stewart at the end of the line, the substitute, and the manager John Bond. With me is Jack Charlton. Jack, you were very realistic on Saturday, saying that you didn't think it would be as good a game as people expected. Do you have higher hopes tonight?
Yes, I think I do. I like the Tottenham lads came out on the field before and had a little kick about and got the feel of it. I've got a little feeling for Tottenham tonight. I don't know why. I think it's probably because they made more chances on Saturday. In fact, Joe Corrigan had more to do than Alexis. So I'll go for Tottenham tonight a little bit, I think. But I think it'll be a better game, mainly because I think Tottenham midfield have learned from the mistakes they made on Saturday. And if they manage to put them right, and they can't do any worse, then I think you can see a much better game anyway.
Putting it in a nutshell, your feeling was that Spurs were below their best and maybe Manchester City played at their peak.
No, Manchester City played exactly as they expected them to play, and they did it very successfully. I think tonight Spurs will be more willing to accept what's thrown at them, let's put it that way. And certainly they've got to compete more across midfield. And you know, on my little sheet here, I put down across a few people like Ricardo Villa. And I thought, well, he can't play any worse than he did on Saturday. And Glenn Hoddle has got a lot to prove tonight. So I should look for a lot more from the Tottenham midfield tonight.
The referee again is Keith Hackett. There's plenty of him at 6'2", and at 36, the second youngest referee ever to take charge of a Wembley final. With his linesmen, Mr. Hutchinson and Mr. Jones. Well, the build-up on the ballyhoo was much restricted for this midweek replay than it was naturally for a game with so many people giving so much time and thought to it in the days leading up to it on a Saturday. And maybe the players will be in a more relaxed frame of mind because of that. Well, let's check on the two sides. First of all, Manchester City with Joe Corrigan in goal. Number 2, Ray Ranson. 3, Bobby MacDonald. 4, Nicky Reed. 5, Paul Power, the captain. 6, Tommy Caton. 7 is David Bennett. 8, Jerry Gow. 9, Steve McKenzie. 10, Tommy Hutchison. 11, Kevin Reeves. And the substitute, 31-year-old Dennis Stewart. Meanwhile, the Spurs come with exactly the side that was here on Saturday, with Milja Alexic in goal. Chris Hughton, number 2. Number 3 is Paul Miller. 4, Graham Roberts, who comes minus 2 teeth that were knocked out on Saturday. 5 is Steve Perryman, the captain. 6, Ricardo Villa. 7, Osvaldo Ardulis. 8, Steve Archibald. 9 is Tony Galvin, who was doubtful for a long time because of a shin injury, but passed fit today. 10 is Glenn Hoddle. 11 is Garth Brooks. And 12 is Gary Brooks. Well, the players will stay as they are. They've tossed up. It'll be Manchester City who defend the goal to our right. And Jack Charlton was making a point to me a little earlier on that Spurs might have a slight advantage there, because the goal in which Joe Corrigan is standing, it's in brilliant sunshine, and in fact there could be a little bit of trouble from Joe Corrigan and the sun, which will have gone down by the time Milja Alexic comes into that goal at the start of the second half. So if Spurs won the toss and decided to kick that way, it could have been a good toss to win. Well, Tommy Hutchison, there he is, doing exactly as he did before the start of the game on Saturday, having a word with Ray Ranson there, getting the young players going, calming them down, but making them aware of their responsibilities. Well, he in the end suffered such disappointment when he put through his own goal, but clearly it's not, he's lost none of his professionalism and is going about the job so well again tonight. Dennis Stewart, good memories of Wembley for him. He was in the Sunderland side that beat Leeds in 1973 and scored a spectacular overhead goal for Manchester City here against Newcastle in the League Cup in '76. Well, one man who clearly has got to improve on his form of Saturday, as Jack was saying, is Ricardo Villa. And he'll be aware that the Argentine manager Menotti is watching tonight's game not from Wembley as he did on Saturday, but from a hotel room in Paris where he's gone. And he'll be watching this one on television, because clearly people like Villa and Osvaldo Ardiles must be featuring in his plans with the '82 World Cup in mind. And Ardiles himself will want to play a lot better than he did on Saturday. Well, one man who stopped Spurs playing was Jerry Gow, this 28-year-old Scot. Such ferocious tackling from him, and an example to all around him, though. Well, it's going to be Manchester City then who get this replayed cup final away. And here we go again. City in the all strip of light blue, attacking the goal to our left. Spurs again, of course, in their white shirts, blue shorts. It'll be Steve Perryman. Another throw. A really buoyant atmosphere here at Wembley. Spurs with the throw. Crooks. Perryman. Ardiles. Holloway. Well, got away from Mackenzie there. Little pass from Miller to Ardiles. And played forward to Crooks, onside. Linesman had a good look there. Villa with a shot. In fact, I think it hit Steve Archibald, when that might have caused a bit of trouble. And in fact, the referee's having a bit of trouble here with one or two players. The game had gone on. They were blissfully unaware of what had happened, but I think it's Jerry Gow, yes, who's being spoken to by referee Hackett, and that was for a challenge that was an unfair challenge on Osvaldo Ardiles. It must have been as Ardiles played that ball forward, and we were following it as Crooks went on his way. Well, it's a free kick then for Tottenham, taken by Paul Miller. High towards Ricky Villa. Galvin trying to get in there, and it's Caton who gets it away for City. Miller back to Emilia Alexic. Graham Roberts. Ooh, a bad ball there, straight to Gow. Reeves. Free kick. Kevin Reeves, who had a nasty spell in the first half when he collided with Alexic on Saturday, and in fact John Bond was telling me the other evening he was spitting up blood at half-time. The doctor wanted to pull him off, but Reeves wanted to go on. They took the risk. X-rays showed some bruising, and here he is again. Hutchison trying to get the better of Galvin, and a corner to Manchester City. Which Paul Power will take. McDonald's in there, Bennett's in there, Hutchison at the near post, Caton, a menacing tall figure there at the near post for Manchester City, and he nearly got the back flick. Mackenzie with a shot, booted away by Houghton. Power with a chance, having beaten Hoddle to get another cross in, and the ball going off Ardiles. Behind for another City corner. So Power again with the corner for Manchester City. Curled in once more. That was Graham Roberts getting that away, only as far as Gow. Nodded there for Mackenzie, trying to get it in first time. Reeves is through. And another corner. Well, Kevin Reeves missed really quite a good chance there, because he suddenly found himself surprisingly through and didn't really make the most of it. Jack?
I was surprised he took the ball on there, Brian. It fell very kindly for him. And he tried to run with the ball towards the goalkeeper and give them a chance to recover on it. I thought he might have had a little shot there, because it was a terrific chance.
Here's the corner, taken by Power. Nodded back there by Hutchison, who didn't quite get a touch to it. Hoddle getting it away. A long ball, only Archibald is up. And Nicky Reed did a good, sound, safe job there for Manchester City. Here's Villa. And now Galvin. That'll fall for Villa again, but Gow is there. And a throw to Tottenham. Crooks trying to lose McDonald and succeeds, but there was nobody to finish it off. But it would have all been academic because Keith Hackett's whistle had gone. "21 goals this season for Garth Crooks, 3 of them in the cup."
Well, just in this first 2 or 3 minutes, the pattern of the play seems to be that Manchester City are going to play exactly the way they played on Saturday, and that Tottenham's formation is exactly the way they played on Saturday. We'll have to see how it develops, because Villa has gone into the same position as we criticised him for on Saturday.
Which was right up amongst the front runners. Villa, there he is. Hoddle. Well, knocked in for Villa again. And City get it away. Hoddle trying to put some pressure on them, and an onside Garth Crooks, but Hutchison, oh, what a good dummy. Houghton, and a foul by Reeves on Houghton, which will give Spurs a free kick. Archibald, Crooks, Archibald. Well, he might get another go. No, it's a Tottenham throw. So Chris Houghton with the throw for Tottenham. No touch from Villa. There's McDonald. Another Tottenham throw. Ardiles. Oh, good play by Ardiles. Hurdling one challenge after another, getting a break. Archibald saved. Villa! Seven and a half minutes. Ricky Villa, right up amongst the front runners, puts Spurs into the lead. The ball broke so beautifully for him, and look at the joy amongst the Tottenham fans there. The shot by Ardiles. Archibald suddenly found himself free and onside. Corrigan was out bravely. It cannoned off him, and look how inviting that was. Quite onside into the back of the net. Jack?
Well, I think that Ardiles was very fortunate when this ball hits Archibald here and fell exactly right for him. Joe came tremendously well and just got a hand to it. But look how kind it fell for Villa. I mean, he had the easiest job in the world, which is probably why they play him in that position, by the way.
Now McKenzie. And Bennett couldn't quite get on the end of it. So Alexic Hoddle, Villa, Sputum, and Caton. Well, it was certainly a very fortuitous break for Tottenham once that ball had hit Archibald, and suddenly City were desperately off balance, and Corrigan, who did so well to try and restore the situation, could only put it into the path of Ricky Villa. It's Villa's 5th goal of the season only, and just his 2nd in the cup. Hutchison. And another free kick. I get the impression that the referee is being a little less lenient than he was on Saturday. He kept things moving well. He's a good referee, and I think he'll probably do the same tonight, but he let a little more go on Saturday than at the moment he's allowing tonight. But it's Ray Ranson then with the free kick for Manchester City. Hit a long one there towards Dave Bennett. Miller was up well. Houghton was in there too. Hutchison to Mackenzie. Oh, a tremendous goal! Steve Mackenzie. Well, the 100th cup final has been graced by a goal as good as any, I would think, in those 100 cup finals. A real stormer here by 19-year-old Steve Mackenzie. Miller got a good header in there. It was knocked there by Houghton. Tommy Hutchison, a lovely one. And what about that for a volley? Curling away from Alexic. We saw beautifully there from behind the goal. And City have drawn level. Here's Ardiles. What a start for this game now. Villa trying to turn it on, and Nicky Reed getting it away, but the whistle had gone for a free kick to Tottenham. Well, Ardiles behind it, Hoddle behind it, and plenty in the City wall. Now Villa, Hoddle. Well, it was from a free kick on Saturday that was deflected in. Hoddle hits the post! Well, he's absolutely devastating from those free kicks, Glenn Hoddle. Curled it there. Corrigan dived in despair, but the post saved him. Now Powell. There's Reeves in the space for Bennett. And now McDonald. Foul and a free kick to Tottenham. Ardiles. And Caton was very positive indeed there. Bennett. Power offside against Mackenzie. Or rather, Reeves. Houghton. Well, we're getting our breath back, Jack, after that tremendous start. What about the Mackenzie goal?
Yeah, Tommy Hutchinson made it. It was a beautiful little header across the face of the goals. It was perfect, and it was ideal to volley, and the boy couldn't have done it any better. Magnificent volley for a great goal.
McDonald getting that header away. Reed getting in bravely against Villa. The game allowed to go on with City in possession, and here's Paul Power, their captain. Stopped by Hoddle. There's an interesting ball. No, it certainly would have been if it had just cleared Nicky Reed. Villa, who's looking a totally different player today. Perryman, cross coming in there towards Crooks, and Ray Ranson getting that one away. Hoddle. Perryman. Gow. Oh, absolutely upended there by Perryman. The makings of a little feud, I would have thought, and Perryman may be feeling that he was responding to one or two things that Jerry Gow had done on Saturday, and had done, in fact, to Ardiles in the opening minutes of the game tonight. Jack?
That was a nasty little foul by Perryman there. He went right past the ball to get the player. And it was the one that if Jerry Gow does it back to him, he'd probably get sent off for, if he gets him.
Power going in with a header. The score still standing at 1-1, and Roberts back. Just come in from work with a quarter of an hour gone. The score is Manchester City 1, Spurs 1, with Mackenzie getting a beautiful volley for Manchester City after Villa had put Tottenham ahead. The goals after 7 and 10 minutes. Hutchison. Reeves. It's Perryman. Archibald's after it. Caton's with him. Crooks. That gave Miller his chance to get in. Caton, though. MacDonald. Adidas. Holding off Mackenzie. And Galvin on the far side. Roberts planting it wide there for Houghton, and he couldn't keep it in play. It's a throw to City.
There's a lot more one-touch being played this first opening 15 minutes, Brian. They're hitting a lot of balls forward and knocking balls back, and then the ball's being played off first time. There's nobody wanting to stand on the ball and pose with it for too long at the moment, and the game's much better for it.
And it's a lot quicker as well. The pace is a good, brisk one, and I think we're going to get a really exciting cup final here, judging by the first 16 minutes, with the score now at 1-1. Here's Hoddle playing a delicate little ball in here for Archibald, hoping to hold off Bennett. Succeeds in doing so. He's got Perryman supporting him. Archibald again. Deflection off Power. Well, that might go anywhere. And it might still go anywhere. Perryman. Hoddle. Miller trying to blast one and hitting it straight at Reed. Crooks playing it wide for Galvin. Here's Ricky Villa again, this time off Gow. And a Tottenham corner.
It's much more difficult to pick people up, you know, and to keep the ball moving, and it makes for a much more faster and much more open game, and I hope it continues as it is.
Well, here's the Tottenham corner. And Roberts was right in there, but was pushing down on Nicky Reed. He's a tough character, this Graham Roberts. He seems to have got knocked about so much, not least on Saturday. He's up there smiling again. Maybe not at Villa's effort to make goal number 2. Way over the top. Martinez's head, actually. That was a bad break for Tottenham. Power playing it wide. Bennett here, and the flag's up on this side for an offside. Kevin Reeves. In a way, I feel a bit sorry for the Spurs goalkeeper, Milija Alexic. He had so little to do on Saturday except pull the ball out of the net after a blinding header from Tommy Hutchison, and there was really nothing the poor man could have done with Mackenzie's shot tonight. But a lot of credit to City, because they were obviously rocked by that unlucky break that led to the Tottenham goal, but they really came back in style. Hutchison. Ranson playing a long ball, and Bennett might get in there. And Alexic was outside his area. Handball, free kick. It was something I suppose he had to do, because Bennett was right in there, and it's the free kick coming up now, and you'll see clearly that Alexic was outside his penalty area when he actually made contact. Now let's see what City can do. Hoddle's already hit a post from a free kick in this sort of position. They've got Mackenzie. Power, of course, is their free kick specialist. Although McDonald is looking a little menacing there, and the other man is Steve Mackenzie, actually on the ball. Mackenzie then for Power, over the top. Paul Power, in fact, has scored in every round of this cup run except the 5th. Hoddle. And this has got to be Reed's ball. Perryman in there before Bennett. Hoddle turning and finding a yard, scorning it, and then playing a really difficult ball that finds Garth Crooks. And the ball was nicking off Perryman. Notice Jerry Gow there having a word with Steve Perryman. They've had a couple of clashes already this evening. A few words exchanged between them there. Hoddle in there challenging Bennett. Power again with a throw. Here's MacDonald. Chipped forward there towards Kevin Reeves. And another City throw. It's going to be Paul Power with the throw for City. Miller's header, now Perryman. Crooks battling with Caton and Reed. But he's given a free kick to Tottenham. No doubt the referee is being a lot less lenient tonight, Jack. He's letting less go.
Yeah, well, I think all we want really is a repeat of Saturday's performance from him, because he was tremendous.
Hoddle playing it here for Archibald. And a corner to Tottenham. MacDonald, I think, a little bit surprised at that decision, but Keith Hackett, the referee, was in enough place to see that it was the right decision, and now Joe Corrigan's got to do a bit of sorting out. Ray Ranson, it is at the back post. The ball played in there quickly towards Perryman, in fact. Martinez. Now Ricky Villa. Little chip in there towards Roberts, who'd come up quickly from the back. Gow, now Hoddle. Gow losing it just for a moment. And that'll fall again for Perryman. Spinning viciously, though. Hutchison. The long ball forward, but straight for Chris Hughton. And an offside against Garth Crooks. It's an amazing partnership he's struck up with Steve Archibald. 46 goals between them this season. So it's a free kick, which Nicky Reed will take. Hutchison. Or rather, Ranson. And a strange stray ball that gives a goal kick to Tottenham. Met 9 times in the cup, Manchester City and Spurs. They've each won 4. And of course Saturday's was drawn. So it's real level peggings as it is at the moment at 1-1 with 24 minutes gone. Back for Hughton. Houghton. Now Paul Miller. Perryman. Connell. Straight to MacDonald. Added on there by Paul Power, who'd again gone up from the midfield areas. Galvin just kept it in play. Houghton finding Ardiles. Another triangle there as Spurs try and winkle their way out of this little situation, but they get a throw. Mackenzie, who was, I think, one of the unsung heroes for Manchester City on Saturday, had a really great game of hustling and, of course, has capped it all with this marvellous goal tonight. And the referee giving a free kick to Manchester City. It's going to be Tommy Hutchison who'll curl it in there towards Kevin Reeves. A nice backward header, and Crooks it was who had to put it away for the corner, but those little flick-ons from that near post areas are always going to throw a defence on the wrong foot, and Spurs were certainly wrong-footed then when Kevin Reeves back-headed there. They could have been in trouble until Crooks took the initiative. Hutchison with the corner for Manchester City. Caton's right in there. Ardiles not getting it away. Mackenzie just a little cushion header there for Gow. Hutchison in a lot of space here, now closed by Hoddle. Ardiles takes possession and slips it past Jerry Gow, but here's Hutchison again. Gow, Roberts to Perryman. Mackenzie, ooh, look at that, what a giveaway by Mackenzie to Archibald of all people, with Galvin outside him. But Ranson came to the young man's rescue, except that the ball has now gone to Galvin. Archibald, all of Manchester City's making this at the moment, these problem moments for them, and then the back heel goes to Jerry Gow. But here's Archibald again. Archibald. Coming now for Miller. Ooh. Villa, the back heel. And just as it didn't come off for Ardiles a moment ago, it didn't come off for Villa either. But it certainly did come off once or twice for the Brazilians on Tuesday night here. Well, the referee watching very closely everything Jerry Gow does, and I think if anything he was maybe a little unfortunate there. Ardiles bumped into him, but the referee was taking no chances. He's given a free kick to Tottenham. Ardiles with it, Villa with the back header, Ranson with the header there for Manchester City, Galvin, Archibald, and in the end it was Nicky Reed who had to get in there. And they're giving Ray Ranson a little bit of stick, these City defenders. They felt that Ranson should have got that away a little more effectively than he did. So it's a corner for Tottenham. Tony Galvin with it. He's had this problem with a shin injury. Back by Ardiles for Galvin again. A good cross coming in this time. Roberts, though, beaten in the air by Caton for City. And we're coming up to the half-hour mark, and again, for those of you just in from work, the score is 1-1, with Ricky Villa having put Tottenham ahead after 7 minutes, and then Steve Mackenzie, a really spectacular volley 3 minutes later to make it 1-1. Mackenzie's pass intercepted there by Perryman. Here's Hoddle. Trying to find Crooks. It'll come for Villa. A shot! Oh, and Corrigan almost made a mess of that one, and Archibald couldn't get in. Whether that was moving in the air a lot is hard to say, but Corrigan very nearly let that one go through. So the corner now coming up, which Perryman is going to take. Hoddle now with the corner. A deep one towards Crooks. But again, Caton, who because of his height has got to take a lot of responsibility when those corners come in and people like Gray and Roberts aim to get on the end of them. Didn't quite make out what Joe Corrigan was about there, Jack. Was it moving in the air a bit from Villa, do you think?
I don't think Joe knew what was happening with the ball as it came at him. It seemed to move in the air a little bit, and I think Joe missed it. I'm not sure, but I thought it hit him in the face. Certainly, it looked as if it was going to beat him.
Ardiles getting a bit of bite in his challenge there and beating Bennett, finding Archibald. Hoddle. Towards Crooks. Nicky Reed. Hutchison. Kevin Reeves. For Nicky Reed again. Hoddle. A little touch for Ardiles. Back again for Hoddle. Very dainty, very pretty, very effective in the end because Villa now can spread it wide here and Perryman just keeps it in. Ardiles for Perryman again. Playing his 598th game for Tottenham tonight, Steve Perryman. Graham Roberts, Paul Miller. And again a long ball forward there. Caton again winning it in the air, but not as effectively as he has done in the past. And here's Ardiles, the good challenge by McDonald. Hoddle now spreading it right, and that time it was Ray Ranson who got in to get it away for City. So Tottenham's throw, their skipper taking it. Miller. Caton. Putin. Right there for Villa. It's going to be a City ball. Jerry Gow. Nicky Reed. Ardiles made nothing of that. And here's Kevin Reeves leading the charge for City. Stumbling, picking himself up again, looking to see who's on. Paul Power trying to get it inside the fullback for Bennett, but Bennett was back on his heels. But in fairness, I don't think even if he'd been sprinting forward, he would have got that ball from Paul Power.
I was surprised to see Kevin Reeves not take the second half on in the box there, because he got right to the edge of the box and then decided to check out of it. When really the last thing in the world the centre half wanted him to do was to take him on inside the box there.
Bennett. Yes, it's a couple of occasions tonight when Kevin Reeves, who is no doubt a really great young striker, has, well, that's Paul Miller, but really looks a little bit below par in terms of confidence. Villa. Hutchison. Reeves. Ranson. Played in again for Reeves, but put away by Miller, but only as far as Gow. Ranson again with the cross coming in there. Bennett. And Hoddle. Foul there by Ricky Villa. McDonald. Putin. About 10 minutes to go to half-time now. The score still Manchester City 1, Spurs 1. Tommy Hutchison, Jerry Gow, Mackenzie. Ooh, Bennett right in there. Here's Power. once or twice City look as though they are really on the brink of making a real chance for themselves. There's a push by Galvin on Gal. A free kick to Manchester City. City at the moment, it seems to me, just suffering for the want of one of their front runners taking the ultimate responsibility of having a whack at goal. But let's see what happens with this one as Hutchison curls it in there and off the top of Reeves' head.
Apparently City's free kicks and corner kicks has been pretty well consistent. They're playing the ball, everyone swinging away from the goals, and mainly looking for a touch-on from corner kicks at the near post. But like that one there, swinging out into the edge of the 6-yard box for a contact header. And they've nearly got away with it 2 or 3 times. It's a case of the people coming in, timing it a bit better. But if I had to put my money on anyone scoring a goal tonight from a cross, I would put it on Graham Roberts, the centre-back, because he's finding a lot of room and only Tommy Caton picking him up at the far post.
But here's Hoddle. Well, certainly Roberts has looked menacing every time he's come forward, and yet surprisingly he scored only 1 goal this season. That was in the Cup, though, against Exeter City. Now Reeves. Dispossessed by Roberts. Oh, what a good ball there by Hoddle into the path of Villa. And in fact, Corrigan saves and they concede a corner, which will be a disappointment to Joe, because I don't think the ball was going in any case. It would have gone into the side netting, and Spurs get themselves a corner. Hoddle will take it. Graham Roberts has come up again from the back on the far side, and maybe Hoddle will be looking for him now. Miller's up there as well. That's a deep one towards Graham Roberts, in fact, and he got the header in. Gow getting it away.
There was a good example there of Villa when he went inside the box there. Wanted to play the ball early and change his mind, and went on and in fact killed his angle. And he had to finish up with a shot to the near post, which Joe had no trouble in handling at all. But it was the one that would have been much more dangerous had it been played across the face earlier.
Now it's Hutchison. Shaking off Garth Crooks. Ranson, Gow, a deep cross there onto the roof of the netting, goal kick. Archibald wanting it his way. MacDonald watching him closely enough, though. And in fact, it was Bennett's header that denied Archibald. Ardiles. And that's going to be a throw to Tottenham. Galvin to Crooks. Now Villa. Getting to the byline. Good skill on the ground there. Crooks with the shot. Now that was precisely, if Villa had done that a moment before when he was attacking the goal from the other side, then Spurs might have been in business, but he showed really good control on the ground.
But he did well there, because when he got past here, he has a look and he sees there's nobody in the middle of the goals at all, so it's no point in playing it there. And he laid the ball back to Gareth Crooks, who put it over the bar. I thought Gareth Crooks meant to turn inside with it there as well.
Hoddle, a little bit lucky, finding Perryman. Hoddle again. Ooh, through the legs of Gow. I think he might have enjoyed that, even though Crooks wouldn't have enjoyed that challenge from Tommy Caton, and Tommy Caton's name will go in the book.
It's a shame Tommy Caton getting booked there, because it's really the first tackle of foul he's made. There have been much worse tackles by other players several times in the game, and Tommy Caton on one there, and he's gone in the book. Now he's on a knife edge for the rest of the game now. One more mistimed tackle, he could be off.
Well, Hollow with the free kick, curling in there. So it's a goal kick for Manchester City. Bennett, and Power couldn't keep it in. It wasn't a good ball. So Spurs will get a throw. Brooks just nodding that on for Archibald, and suddenly Spurs have got 4 up, and they've got Galvin in a lot of space. Tony Galvin for Tottenham, saved by Joe Corrigan. Well, the space was amazing that Tottenham had there. Suddenly they had men over on that far side as Archibald came up. Galvin with his shot. By now, Corrigan was coming out. Hit him on the body. Houghton. Huddle. Probing in there once more. And a corner. Just kicked the ball away. It's not a corner. In fact, it's a free kick to Manchester City. You wanted to make a point a moment ago, Jack.
I was just going to say that when Tony Galvin went onto that ball there, he took the ball just a yard too far to his left and made his angle is to beat Joe Corrigan just that 2 yards wider. You know, if he'd have taken the ball more square and inside the fullback, he probably would have done much better with it.
Houghton playing it forward. Caton winning it in the air. The last 3 minutes of the first half. Perriman, Hoddle, a lovely drag back. Roberts. Power. McDonald. McDonald. And back by Miller. Villa. Perriman. Towards Archibald. Not a good enough control there by Archibald, but Spurs get a throw. Huddle. That's a goal kick. Well, about a minute to go to half-time. A summing up of the first 44 minutes, Jack?
Well, after the first initial 15 minutes, which were tremendous, and we had the 2 goals, I think the game settled into more of the pattern that we had last Saturday, where the people have operated in the same areas. Maybe Glenn Hoddle has probably done a little bit better than he did on Saturday. Certainly the only quality balls played in the game have all been by him.
Well, here's our dealers bursting through again, but in the end showing too much of it to Nicky Reed, who in a quiet way has had a really excellent first half at the back for Manchester City. Ardiles again. But I don't think Crooks will get near that one. And the half-time whistle. Well, an absorbing first half and a better one than we had on Saturday, with Ricky Villa having put Spurs ahead in a blistering start with a goal after 7 minutes after it had fallen so neatly for him, and then a real cracker of a goal that equalised just 3 minutes later by Steve McKenzie for Manchester City. Well, Spurs came out of that tunnel as though they really meant business at the start of the second half, with the bandsman still there from the Royal Marines, and Glenn Hoddle offering something that the trombone man had dropped along the way. But as the panel of Ian St John and Jimmy Greaves were saying at half-time, Hoddle is having a much better game tonight than he'd had. Something else that they dropped as well, and that Mr. Hoddle had picked up for them. And if Spurs continue to operate in midfield in the way they've done in the first half, with Ardiles looking much sharper and certainly Villa, those two Argentinians, looking that much better in this second half, then there could be problems for Manchester City. Well, the cigar is going well for the City manager John Bond, and when you think that soon after he joined them in October they lost a game to Birmingham City and found themselves at the bottom of the First Division, here they are at Wembley in a final, making a lot of money. Well, if anybody's entitled to a cigar, it's John. So Spurs now will be attacking the goal to our left. Steve McKenzie with a goal that you can be sure he'll remember for the rest of his life. And he's only 19 now. Cost £275,000 when City bought him as a 17-year-old from Crystal Palace. And the crowd getting warmed up for what should be a really engrossing second half. Crooks and Archibald, the men who between them have scored 46 times this season, getting Spurs underway at the start of the second half. Galvin hitting the ball straight back at his defenders. And here's Hutchison. Played inside again there, and it was Reeves hitting it first time, but not really getting a solid connection. MacDonald. Power. MacDonald. Perryman getting in there. And the linesman, I think, flagging a foul there, and a free kick to Tottenham, already taken. Here's Hoddle. And back to goalkeeper Milja Alexic. Crooks trying to get it inside Ranson for Galvin to do a bit of running, but young Ranson was equal to it, and it's back with Big Joe Corrigan, 32 years old, father of three. I think there are two players on the City side who have three children. Tommy Hutchison is another one. It's a throw to Spurs. Here, and a little bit of space. Ardiles, a lot of space on this left-hand side for Galvin. Here he is. And it's a good cross there. Archibald coming in on it, and Bobby MacDonald just getting up there, nicking it off the head of the Scotsman, behind for the corner to Tottenham. Graham Roberts coming up again, the number 4 from the back. And Jack Charlton, you can see him there on the edge of the box. Jack Charlton was telling me at half-time that it's noticeable the way that Caton stands off him, and it gives Roberts the chance to make a run, and that could represent a danger for... Well, there's a bird on the pitch, and they're trying to get it off. And happily, the bird has been taken off. Whether it was trodden on by a player and injured, I don't know, but it's safe now. There's Roberts trying to make that run, but Caton had closed just enough on him to get the header in then. Good challenge there by Power. Calvin. And the ball out of play. And for the animal lovers among you, if you're worried about that bird, I can tell you it's being taken down the Royal Tunnel now by a steward, and that no doubt will be taken off to the RSPCA. That's out of play. Dispossessing Houghton, and Houghton getting stuck in again there, but Hutchison calling on all his experience and getting a free kick. Flicked on there by Reeves for Bennett, and a penalty! Bennett brought down, the penalty given. That looked a bit tough to me, Jack.
That was total nonsense, total nonsense. The boy's committed to playing the ball, which he did. Bennett went the long way round, and in fact went over nothing. Went over nothing. Just watch it here, it didn't even play the ball. Bennett's just gone over gone the long way round and can't make it.
Well, the penalty's been given. It's there by Reeves, and City are in the lead.
I hate to think they lost the cup because of a penalty like that. There's been much worse fouls he's let go in this game. And to penalise that one for a penalty in the cup final, I think he's out of order. But then again, we'll have to wait and see now, because that's the first time Kevin Reeves has done anything right in the game up to now.
Well, the penalty was beautifully tucked away. It's an amazing record. That's 5 penalties in Wembley Cup final history, all of them scored, the last one away back in 1962, and that, ironically enough, was scored by Spurs against Burnley by Danny Blanchflower. So in a Wembley final for the FA Cup, a penalty has never been missed, and Kevin Reeves keeps up that record to put City in the lead tonight. Caton with that header away. Well, a penalty that Jack Charlton described as total nonsense, and he's still waving his arms about. He can't believe it.
I'm just looking at a foul on Tommy Hutchinson there that he allowed to play on. You know, I mean, that was more of a push on Tommy Hutchinson than it was in the box for the penalty. You know, I'm very disappointed in the referee over that, because I think it'll too important a game for that sort of a decision.
But now here's Crooks for Tottenham, and Villa. And the ball knocked away. Here's Houghton. And a free kick now for Tottenham. Ray Ranson going across, and his name goes in the book, and that certainly is the first challenge that Ranson has made. And referee Keith Hackett, who had a brilliant game on Saturday, could be in danger of, unless he's very careful, of losing a bit of control here tonight.
I thought Kevin Reeves, and he has made a few tackles tonight like that, and he has got away with 1 or 2, and the referee has spoken to him a couple of times. Where Tommy Caton got booked, that was the first one. He's got away with 2 or 3, Ranson, and that one probably justified a booking. I couldn't understand what the two Tottenham lads were rushing in there trying to cause problems for, both the Argentinians, because they were only going to get themselves into trouble by doing that.
Well, John Bond sits back with John Benson and John Sainty alongside him, his backroom men, finding themselves in the lead again in an FA Cup final, just as they were on Saturday until Tommy Hutchison found things going wrong for him. Well, it's Tommy Caton who's getting some treatment at the moment.
If I was John Bond, I would be sitting there thinking, well, I've got a long time to go now to the final whistle in this game, because it looks like Tottenham will have to push forward to get this equaliser now if they're going to do it. And how well City sit back and defend is going to be important as well. I've got a feeling that it's going to be an interesting game from now on.
Ardil is playing it in low for Villa. Here's Crooks. Trouble. And the throw going Tottenham's way. Hoddle with it, a long one there, but Nicky Reed gets it away. Hutchison brought down by Galvin, and another name's going in the book. What about this, Jack?
Well, I thought it was a foul. He's reaching for the ball. I think he really knew he was never going to get it. It's unfortunate. There's a few of those tackles that put him into the game now. And it's a sad reflection on the game, because it's been pretty clean and open up to now, both games.
Reed with the free kick for Manchester City. Hutchison touching it on. And played back there by Houghton. Bennett came in. Alexic just got there in time. It was a back pass that had an element of risk about it, but Alexic was there. Now Ardiles trying to get Villa on his way, and Corrigan out quickly. Big Joe, who admitted when he came here on Saturday, he thought Manchester City might get beaten. I would think he's a little more optimistic at the moment, with them leading by 2-1 now, 10 minutes into the second half. Bit of push and shoving going on there. The referee deciding it was 6-1. Ardiles, Archibald, Galvin.
I've been a bit disappointed in Galvin. He's not shown anything in this game at all. Last Saturday we thought he might be the man of the match, you know, and before the game, and he did nothing. Today he's done very little again.
Ardiles finding Hoddle. That's a good shot! Tipped away by Corrigan.
That's two shots Joe's had at him, and both times he didn't know very much about it. That one looked as if it was swerving and hit him on the arm.
Corner already taken. Corrigan getting it away. Houghton playing it in. Roberts right in there again. Archibald. Oh, they cannoned away there off Bobby MacDonald. And in the end, it's Nicky Reed who gets it away for Manchester City. Archibald complaining to the referee that that was a handball by MacDonald, and Archibald being called to Keith Hackett, and he might be the next player to go in the book. Obviously for something he said. And the throw has been taken. Ardiles. The ball with Miller. Villa. And Reed dispossessed by Crooks, but Crooks was pounding Reed in the back, and it's a free kick to Manchester City.
There's a tremendous lot of talking going on at the referee now. Ardiles is having a go at him. Vilas had a go at him. Everybody's having a go at the referee on the Tottenham side. They're going to get themselves in trouble unless they stop it.
I think they're feeling very hard done by, obviously, about the penalty. And Jerry Gow and Ardiles. And this cup final is beginning to erupt. It's not a celebration 100th cup final by any manner of means at the moment, and names are going into the book left, right and centre. There's the challenge, Gow on Ardiles, and Jerry Gow's name goes into the book.
I thought it was unfortunate there, Brian, because Jerry Gow looked as if he was going to play the ball, and in fact Ardiles' foot came in front of the ball before he went to play it. Certainly Ardiles made the most of it by going up to Gow and pushing him.
And there's a fan on the pitch now being hustled away by Houghton and by a policeman. And suddenly what was a blistering and thoroughly entertaining first 15 minutes of the game tonight with those 2 goals has now degenerated into just one long squabble. Spurs are still this goal down. It's no good. Spurs at the moment losing their heads and arguing with the referee all the time, which is a point Jack was making a moment ago. But here's Ardiles trying to thread his way through those City defenders. City have got this lead. The onus is on Tottenham now to pull it back. And the only way they're going to do that is to remain cool-headed and professional and let their skill speak for itself. Well, here's Holland. Ardiles. MacDonald, good, fair challenge that time, no problem at all about that. Gow getting it away. Power, a long ball forward, Kevin Reeves well offside. We're coming to a quarter of an hour, the second half gone. Manchester City leading by 2-1. McKenzie and Reeves from a hotly disputed penalty. Ricky Villa having put Tottenham ahead right at the start of the night. Reeves. Houghton couldn't keep it in. It's a City throw.
Ardiles again, he's even going shouting and talking to the referee about the fact that the ball was over the line. The linesman must be in a better position to see than him. He seems to have lost the cool altogether.
That was certainly over the line as well. This time it's a Tottenham throw. Scoreboard telling the story of the game. Hutchison breaking away, Crooks after him. Hutchison riding that challenge. McKenzie slicing a lovely ball with the outside of his boot there towards Bennett. But Bennett then gives it back to Tottenham. Via Holland.
Tottenham have pushed another player up front now. Ardiles seems to be spending more and more time getting up into the front line. And they're in danger of getting caught on the break in situations like this because there seems to be a lot of room left and right sides of the field.
Now Bennett. Threw it straight at Miller. And the shot by Reeves was charged away as well. Power. Oh, good play there by Paul Power. He skinned Steve Perryman. Can he get his cross in? Perryman was back at him, but the cross came in too long for Tommy Hutchison. And Tottenham get a throw. Spurs, who played in 5 FA Cup finals and won them all. And that record in a little bit of danger now. Manchester City in 7 finals, 4 of which they've won. Ardiles. Villa. Huddle. Get after that, he says to Steve Archibald. In for Hoddle. Played in again. Nice movement. This by Tottenham, and Hoddle in the end played it too firmly. Gave Corrigan his chance to pounce.
That's the first time we've seen Glenn Hoddle actually do anything like that. He's been content to sit in midfield and win balls and play balls for other people. That's the first time he's ever got on a ball, come at the edge of the box, look for a 1-2 and gone on from it. And I think you'll see more of him doing that in this game.
Now Bennett, but Miller holding him off. And here's Perryman. Villa. That's a foul by Bobby MacDonald. Long ball by Paul Miller. Nicky Reed with a header away for Manchester City. Power just keeping it in. Dave Bennett. And now Miller. Playing it this way now with Graham Roberts, who a year ago was playing non-league football with Weymouth. Brought down. But there wasn't a foul. Cook's offside. He darted back into an onside position, but when the ball was played up from the back, he was just standing that foot or two offside. Free kick to Manchester City. 25 minutes remaining. Tommy Caton with the kick. Miller, a good jump. Now Hoddle. It's Caton. Ransom. Goes Roberts, finding Ardiles. Good bit of fighting back there by Tommy Hutchison on Osvaldo Ardiles. But Spurs with the throw, Chris Hughton with it. Villa. Huddle. Little ball in there for Archibald. And a foul there by McDonald.
Every time anyone makes a mistake in a tackle now, the first thing they're doing is looking at the referees up to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Please don't boot me. You know, it's sort of a tension out there. You can feel it. People are frightened to make tackles anymore.
Huddle. Curled in there. Corrigan's catch. And Roberts had a little kick at him as he went in there. And Corrigan felt it.
That was good goalkeeping by Joe there, because Huddle, when he played the free kick in
But
here,
just look, I think if we go past it, you'll see that there was a little bit of a kick there. That was the impression I got, but it didn't show up on that replay. I'm sorry, Jack, I interrupted you.
just saying it was a good goalkeeping by Joe, because on Saturday the free kick from exactly that position went into the near post and nearly beat, and they scored a goal with it. And this time Joe went the other way and he realised that the ball was going to be played into the space in front of the goal, so he didn't go to the near post. Good thinking on behalf of Joe.
Meanwhile, it's a free kick for Manchester City, which Bobby MacDonald is going to take. Left foot there. Miller getting it away. Gow using his influence once more. Roberts. Coming up to the halfway mark in this second half now. Roberts, the long ball forward. Nicky Reed. Galvin, an acrobatic header there, just about keeping possession for Tottenham. Houghton, Gow in there quickly. And stopped by Houghton. Galvin. And there is a tension out there, there's no doubt about it. As Jack was saying a moment ago, every time there is a foul, they're looking towards the referee, and with names like Caton and Ranson and Galvin and Archibald and Gow already in the book, one more caution and that's a sending off, of course, and never in Wembley FA Cup final history has anybody been sent off. Archibald for Tottenham. And as a matter of interest, if anybody is sent off, the FA do have the right to withhold their medal. But offside there against Parr. And it's Roberts. Villa. And Manchester City in defence at the moment, Jack, looking very composed and very sure of themselves.
Yeah, they're not getting in as much trouble as they did in the first half and just after half-time. Since they scored the goal, they've dropped, like Gow's just dropped back in front of his back four, and he's just played it normally, and they've got people back behind the ball, and they've been very sensible about it all. It's up to Tottenham now to try and sort out their football, because they've got people at the back who will have to commit themselves forward a little bit more and try and win an equaliser out of this game. But it's going to find it difficult because they're pretty well organised at the back, Manchester City, at the moment. Yes. Certainly the two centre-backs are doing terrific.
That's Caton and Reid. And of course, with something like 20 minutes left, we're getting to the all-or-nothing stakes as Hoddle plays it in there. Caton again. It's amazing to think he's only 19. Played first for Manchester City when he was only 16. Crooks. And a corner for Tottenham. Well, there's the young centre-back, Tommy Caton. Coming to have a look for Graham Roberts coming up. As Hoddle takes this corner for Tottenham, Roberts getting in there. Caton, that looked like a handball by Caton. It was an accidental one. The referee was on the wrong side of that situation, and it's a corner for Tottenham, which they want to take fairly quickly. Galvin will be the man to take it. Villa. Hoddle. Little chip in there. Can Archibald get in there? Crooks! And Garth Crooks gets his 22nd goal of the season. Hoddle with the little chip in there. Suddenly look at the white shirts. Archibald was in there, and it was the stabbing foot of Garth Crooks that finally gets it into the back of the net, and Spurs are back level again. City really came out and committed themselves. A little left foot toe poke by Crooks. Jack?
Well, you come out and you try to play offside, you clear the area, and 9 times out of 10 the linesman would have put his flag up and it would have been offside. But that time he decided to keep it down. Now I would like to see that one again, because I would think that Tottenham are very close to being offside. Having said that, Garth Crooks did extremely well to come in very bravely and get a toe into the ball and push it in the net. I thought Archibald had lost the ball actually, and they were going to get away with it, City. But it's the way the game's gone. It's the way the game's gone today.
So which way will the battle sway now? Police is absolutely abuzz, almost. You can feel the television gantry up here shaking with the noise of it all. As City now come forward with Kevin Reeves on the far side. And a goal kick.
They say the game is judged by a really entertaining game for the spectators is judged by how much involvement the goalkeepers have. And it's apparent to me that both goalkeepers, although we've got a 2-2 draw on our hands here at the moment, have had very little to do. In fact, I don't think I can remember the save by either one.
Well, Joe Corrigan's got in the way of a couple that he didn't know much about, but you're right. And here's Power. Lovely little ball there, just clearing Perryman's head and finding Reeves. Played on again towards Dave Bennett, but Graham Roberts there turning it back to Milja Alexic. 17 minutes to go. And remember, we get extra time, and if it's still level at the end of that, we're going to go through the penalty routine for the first time in FA Cup final history. And that's when you're going to need nerves as well as skill. So we're bound to get a result tonight. Hutchison, Galvin, and McDonald away. Mackenzie. Huddle. Through the legs of Gow. He would have enjoyed that as well. The referee at the moment trying to sort something out at the other end of the pitch. Now catching up with the play. There was obviously a little feud going on there, a way back. Nice play there by Villa. Played for Hoddle. Challenged hard by Caton, but fairly so. Roberts playing it in once more towards Garth Crooks, but that's Bobby McDonald's header. Hoddle again. Crooks getting it this time for Villa. Archibald trying to get there, but it's cut out by the City skipper Paul Power, and it's back with Big Joe Corrigan. Houghton. Ball out of play. City's throw. Ray Ransom with the throw for City. Villa. Spreading it around a bit now. Perryman. Archibald had gone wide on the right. Hoddle very forward. Oh, and a lovely ball there by Hoddle for Villa. Cut back again for Crooks. Archibald in there. Houghton. Well, who's going to get it? It's a Tottenham ball. No, it's a City ball. And the Spurs fans making themselves heard now with their side having come back level, and the referee penalising Tommy Hutchison there for a challenge which was an unfair one on Glenn Hoddle. And we're inside the last quarter of an hour.
Well, the pace of the game has certainly picked up again, and it's one of those games that seems to die away, and then we get an incident, and then it picks up again, and the pace going now is going very, very quickly, and Tottenham is starting to push a little bit more one touch into the game again.
Here's Houghton with the free kick. Villa with the backward header. Now Archibald and a free kick. As City warm up Dennis Stewart on the far side, and Spurs warm up their substitute Gary Brooke. Long ball forward. Dave Bennett trying to get on the end of it. Steve Mackenzie's going to get there. Stopped though by Graham Roberts. And now Tony Galvin. Crooks is up ahead, but he might be offside. And that maybe was why Galvin was reluctant to release it. Now he can find Villa. And he can really stab them. Going all the way. And Villa! 3-2 to Tottenham. 2 goals in the game for Villa. And Spurs are back in the lead. It was an amazing run, and there was no tackle coming in there. Good skill getting past Caton, getting past them again, turning them the wrong way. Thought he'd lost it there, and finds the back of the City net to put Spurs 3-2 into the lead.
Well, this is a tremendous run. He's done all the right things. He's worked against people's angles, and Joe, it went in off his arm, unfortunately, for City.
Well, the man who trudged off after he'd been substituted and went to the dressing room on Saturday, and he looked a real lost soul then, has become a gold-plated hero here for Tottenham tonight. Ricky Villa. And if Ricky Villa can get one more, he will emulate the great Stan Mortensen as the only other player to score a hat-trick in a Wembley final. And Stan did that all way back in that famous Matthews final of 1953. Amazing cup final of ups and downs, and who's to say in the 12 minutes that are remaining that we may not get another upheaval at one end or the other. Jack.
Well, it's Manchester City who have now got to push forward and get an equaliser, and you know, it's been a funny game. I think Tottenham maybe learned the lesson and will keep pushing forward for another goal now, because I think as long as they sit back, they're going to be in trouble.
Substitute. And they're taking off Bobby McDonnell, the defender, and they're bringing on Dennis Stewart. And look at that Spurs bench behind, all agitation. Keith Birkinshaw leaning and swaying, and the clock is going to stop for him. The last 11 minutes will seem like an eternity. John Bond on the touchline there.
I think City could do with somebody else up front, actually, because I've been very disappointed in the boy Reeves. He's not really performed well in this cup tie at all, even though he scored the penalty. It's just not been his day.
Now can Spurs get in again? Huddle there to the byline. Stabbing it back, Mackenzie away. First touch for Stewart, and the header finding Bennett. Stewart again. And that time Ardiles was biting on to Bennett. Ardiles apologised, and Bennett didn't want to know.
Ardiles is starting to run about, smiling a little bit now. It was the most... It niggled all over the place when they were getting beat 2-1 and caused a lot of the aggravation and problems.
Here's Caton, the long ball forward for City. And Roberts, in the end, getting it away. Reeves with the throw for Manchester City. Their skipper, Paul Power. Curled in again, and Miller got that one away. Crooks, a lovely touch there for Villa. That's a long ball forward, and Archibald might just be able to get advantage of it, but there was a foul by him on Nicky Reed. And, oh, that's the way the agitation is erupted here now. Villa wanted to delay the taking of that kick. Reed, because City are behind, was agitated. Cool heads are what City require now. And somebody who can find a goal in the 9 minutes or so that remain. Spurs leading by 3-2. Villa looking for Galvin and might just find him. Hutchison. Well, apparently it was a foul by Tommy Hutchison, but you can see his annoyance, and I think I share it, because it looked to me a perfectly good challenge.
It was as good a tackle, actually, as you'll see in the game. He went past the player running towards the ball and played the ball out for a throw-in, and he's finished it giving away a free kick. No wonder he's annoyed.
Well, here's Ardiles, and now it's with Galvin. That's a deep cross which Corrigan catches at full stretch. Power. Houghton with the header. Hutchison. Bennett. Stewart. Good ball there played. If Ransom can keep it in, but he can't. It's a throw to Tottenham. Shove and a free kick to Tottenham. So Houghton. Archibald getting up well, but there was nobody up there. Hoddle now finding Crooks. Villa. Bain spraying it wide accurately and with composure there, the big Argentinian, and he finds that Perriman's pass comes back to Archibald. Here's Hoddle again, trying to turn and outwit Mackenzie. Does so superbly and gets past Gow, but the shot provides City with a goal kick. 6 minutes to go.
Certainly one of the main reasons why Tottenham are winning this game is because Villa's played and he didn't play on Saturday. But more than that, Glenn Hoddle has really put himself about tonight, and we've had a lot of quality balls from him.
But here are City. Stopped this time by Ardiles, who plays the longest back pass of the game. Well, it was his Wembley dream to play and to win, and he is a little over 5 minutes from doing that right now. And Villa playing a long one back, and Alexit only just keeping that from going for a corner.
It always worries me when teams start playing balls back to their goalkeeper at this time of the game. They're much better keep the ball and play with it themselves.
Well, Crooks is trying to do just this, but a galloping run there by Nicky Reed puts the ball out of play. So it's going to be a throw for Tottenham. Villa. And now conceding the corner. So Hoddle will take it. Roberts is coming up again. Inside the last 5 minutes now. Hoddle trying another long one towards Graham Roberts. He got the header in, but Caton again made it difficult enough for him so that it wasn't on target. And already the first chords of a Glory, Glory song coming up from the Spurs supporters. Celebrations might still be a little premature. And here's Ardiles. Socks at his ankles now. And Ranson's challenge too much for him. And now Mackenzie. Trying to get past Miller. A handball claimed there by City. But nothing given, but they get a throw. You can be sure the minutes are sweeping by now for City fans. And the clocks have stopped for Tottenham. Power playing it in. And they can't get it away. Can Stewart get a shot there on target? He can, but he didn't get enough power behind it, and Alexik had time to adjust himself and get body firmly behind the ball.
That was what you call a hard stopper, because Dennis Stewart had a lot of time on this ball. You notice when it comes out to him, as he tries to volley it, and he just had a little bit of time to do better than that, Dennis. He's normally a very good volleyer. That could have been threes each.
Caton Cooley back to Corrigan. Spurs a matter of 3.5 minutes away now. Gow, Hutchison, little touch there for Ray Ranson. Here's Villa. And the long ball into no man's land, clearly intent on keeping the ball at that end of the field, but they've given the possession to City and Nicky Reed. The long ball played forward there, and Spurs don't quite know where they are. And Alexic came out there, and Miller wasn't quite sure where things were at that particular moment, and it needed a bit of positive goalkeeping.
I think he was very lucky to get away with that, Miller, because as the ball came in here, it's not a goalkeeper's ball. It's never going to go that far. He was lucky that it just dropped inside the 18-yard box.
Archibald shoving in on the back of Reed gives City a free kick. Gow. Touched by Mackenzie. Here's Stewart. Here's Hutchison. Hoddle. And Crooks, he can sew it up now. No, he can't, because Corrigan was the big barrier once again in his way. Little over a minute to go now. Mackenzie, don't think Reeves will get to that one. On my watch a minute. And Alexic will be in no hurry to release that ball forward. Spurs ahead, and then behind, and now in a wildly exciting second half ahead again, with Ricky Villa having scored 2 of their goals, and Garth Crooks the other one. Mackenzie and Reeves from the penalty spot for Manchester City. Hoddle hitting a long ball again towards Galvin. Corrigan getting it, losing it. The flag was up. The free kick taken. And we're in the last seconds as the referee looks at his watch, in fact. Stewart playing it on for Gow. Playing it wide where there's space for Paul Power on the far side. City have got a lot of light blue shirts forward, and it could be a chance, and it's just wide by Stewart, and there was so little to spare. What a heart-stopping finish that would have been. And we might get an idea. Well, it wasn't much in it. We're playing time added on now. Another look at referee Hackett's watch, and Spurs are a matter of seconds away from winning the 100th FA Cup final. Villa. Stewart stopped by Ardiles. Played wide for Archibald. Down towards that corner flag. They know it's safe there. City are never going to score a goal from that area. They haven't got the time in any case. Spurs have won the 100th FA Cup final. 2 goals by Ricky Villa, and the winner a real vintage effort. Ardiles, the man who dreamt about winning at Wembley, said this after the World Cup final was his most important game. Drained now with the effort and the emotion of it all. Spurs have kept that amazing record, 6 cup finals at Wembley and before, and they've won them all. Manchester City, who got themselves back into the game superbly after going that early goal down. What terrible disappointment for them. And away to the left, Joe Corrigan, right on his knees, on his haunches, away out of his penalty area. What a sad sight that. As Spurs celebrate, the big man who played so well on Saturday, was the man of the match. There's sadness for him. So Spurs not only win the 100th FA Cup final, but of course they go into the European Cup Winners' Cup next season as well. And that's a real money spinner at a time. Barry Daines, the reserve goalkeeper there, just going out of the picture with Don McAllister. It's a real big squad effort. And the City players are sitting in abject disappointment on the ground. Steve McKenzie, the number 9 there, who thought it might have been a night of glory for him after that magnificent volleyed goal. And so Spurs win the cup, go up to receive it from Princess Michael of Kent. And a money-spinning trip into Europe next season couldn't have been more timely when they are making such enormous ground improvements, and costly ones too, at White Hart Lane. Steve Perryman battling his way up those steps. His 598th game for Tottenham. And at the end of it all, a great captain gets the game's greatest honour to lift the FA Cup and to take his medal as well. And he's reluctant to show it to the Spurs fans, but now he's going to. The broadest smile in Britain, followed by Glenn Hoddle and Paul Miller. Gary Brooke, the substitutes, Chris Hughton and Tony Galvin, who was doubtful right up until today about playing. Milja Aleksic, the goalkeeper, the 2-goal hero from Argentina, Ricky Villa, and with the natty Spurs cap on, Steve Archibald, the man without 2 teeth, Graham Roberts, but with a winner's medal, and Garth Crooks, and the man whose dream it was, Ozzy Ardiles, gets a Tottenham scarf and a winner's medal. The sad trail up the stairs now by Manchester City, led by Paul Power, who must have thought for quite a little while it was going to be their night, after they cancelled out that early Ricky Villa goal, and have then got themselves into the lead with that disputed penalty. Heartbreaking moments for Paul Power and for Joe Corrigan, with their chairman Peter Swales on the left. Nicky Reed had a terrific game at the back. Kevin Reeves, the penalty scorer. Jerry Gower, who kept moving all the time in midfield. Dave Bennett and Tommy Caton, great at the back, and now he can get on with his A-levels for maths. Steve McKenzie, Tommy Hutchison, who will always remember the first game, Ray Ranson, and Bobby MacDonald, Dennis Stewart, who came on as sub. Well, he got one of the goals, and he's entitled to celebrate. Garth Crooks and Spurs sportingly applauding Manchester City as they come down as the losers. And Ardiles gets his hands on that FA Cup. And it's Argentina's night, no mistake. Those 2 goals by Ricky Villa, the second, which turned out to be the winner, being absolutely superb. There'll be the customary lapse of honour. And there's no doubt too, it's little comfort for Manchester City, but they are basically a young side being got together by a new manager, John Bond, and you have the feeling that a happier day will dawn for them. That's always the saddest sight, as the losers seek so hard to put a brave face on what in the end is a disaster. The Spurs fans generously applauding them, as you can see. And it has been a tremendous night of exciting cup football. But now the real lap of honour gets on its way. There are still one or two silly young people who are trying to get on there and spoil a lap of honour. It should be something that everybody could enjoy from their seat or standing on the terraces. We need no interlopers. It's Tottenham's night. And how it's Tottenham's night. Well, the year of the cockerel, they said, and the year of the cockerel it's turned out to be. Garth Brooks just will not let go of that cup, with Chris Hughton, the number 2. The banners are there, the shouting is there, the sheer joy of it all is there. And the FA Cup is there as well. Just one more, say the photographers, just one more. And in this mood, Tottenham, I think, are probably happy to oblige. Ricky Villa showing or rather Steve Perryman showing the cup to the Tottenham supporters. Well, that's what a transformation in this man. After being substituted on Saturday, he didn't want to know. He trudged off to the dressing rooms and didn't even want to watch the rest of the game. Well, he was certainly worth watching tonight. Well, there'll be some celebrations down the Tottenham High Road tonight, and no mistake. And he wants another look at that cup. What a picture.
After one loser, one winner, Glenn Hoddle, many congratulations.
Oh,
my goodness, you must be delighted.
Oh, you know, as they say, over the moon. No, it's just unbelievable. I mean, I always had tears out there. I just couldn't believe how, how it hit me.
It was a remarkable game in every way, wasn't it?
Well, everyone's been saying it was a great game, but you don't really know how good it is when you're playing because you're just concentrating 100%. But we strung some good passes together today, and we played the football that we made up for Saturday. Really, I feel for City. They played very well tonight, and they played even better than us on Saturday. And looking at their faces, you do feel for them. But you've got to enjoy the victory. It's like it might never happen again.
Right alongside you, one of the goal scorers, Garth Crooks. Many congratulations, Garth.
Thank you.
You looked as if you'd almost lost it again tonight several times, didn't you?
Well, as long as I've been at Spurs, we seem to be playing the best football when we've been behind. And when we were 2-1 down, I always felt that even when the way City were playing, when they were playing well at that time, that we could get back in the game. And fortunately for us, the ball was bobbling about for the box. What I thought was a long time, and I just managed to get my toe to it. And nobody was more surprised to see it beat Joe, because Joe was having a fabulous game.
It did seem, I must say, to get very physical at one time, and in fact the referees seemed to lose control. I mean, how aware of you were that during the match?
Well, you're talking about the FA Cup final. There's a lot at stake, and And men are playing out there and they want to win badly. And at times, people get over-enthusiastic. And that's what you saw for a spell out there. Nothing dangerous. I mean, if you ask the players now, we've all had a handshake and we spoke about the game. That's what football's all about. That's the English League.
And a celebration tonight?
Oh, not off. Not off.
Well done, mate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. And let's bring in the manager, Keith Birkinshaw. Many congratulations. My goodness, you must be the most satisfied man in the country tonight.
Yeah, it's a lovely, warm feeling, isn't it? But I'm just pleased for all those fans. I thought they turned up in the numbers tonight, and really, when we're 2-1 down, I think they've pulled us through it at the end of the day.
You had your worries, though, over the 90 minutes, didn't you?
Yes, I felt that we played well first half, and really we should have been a goal up at least. When they got a penalty soon after half-time, I thought, well, is it going to be our day today? Sometimes you play well and you find you're behind and then you go. But to be fair to our players, they kept battling.
One player in particular, Ricky Villa. Let's bring him in.
Ricky,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What do you think of that performance of him
tonight, didn't he?
What do you think of that performance of him tonight?
Oh, well, I think it shows itself out there on the field, doesn't it? He's an Argentinian with a lot of skill and he turned it on for us tonight.
There was such a difference, Ricky, from Saturday to tonight, for you in particular.
Yes, each game can be different, you know, and I'm very pleased the difference coming to us today, you know, and I have the luck for a score two great goal, I think, for help Tottenham win the cup.
Oh, tell me about that great goal.
Oh, it's
Like two, in fact.
I think the last was the best goal, you know, and I can say a lot of things, but in the end I think I have a lot of luck for score this goal, you know.
Did you have a different attitude tonight? Because you'd got a lot of criticism and it was a very sad time for you last Saturday.
Sometimes, you know, sometimes this happens. I have a game last Saturday, but this is nothing happened. Next game I can play well and my confidence is still on, you know.
Right. Well, a quick reaction from the lads alongside you, Chris.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Speechless now. Absolutely speechless.
And another man at the back, of course. The Spurs defence has taken so much criticism over the season, and here you are now.
Yes, I think we played quite well, really, over the two games, you know, and as always, we proved them wrong again. You know, every round of the Cup this year, we keep hearing about, oh, well, we'll test the defence out, and, well, they've yet to do it. And we hope we're giving some entertainment anyway by making it more exciting.
And I'll bring in Graham. I shouldn't really ask him to smile, but I will.
You'll get that anyway. I've never won an FA Cup final, so I'm going to treasure every minute of it.
It wasn't quite as bad for you tonight.
No, they put us under a bit of pressure. Well, I think once in the game, but we did play very well tonight, and I think first half we were magnificent. You know, we was dejected when the penalty went in, but just shows you how good we were. We come back and we won 3-2.
And a tremendous celebration tonight for you.
Well, not our.
Well, tonight and tomorrow.
And the next night. I better leave it to you. Many congratulations to all of you, and back to Dickie now.